A group of tourists, Anna, Igor, and Vlad, goes to the mountains to make a night ascent. At first, everything goes according to plan. Clear weather, fresh air, ringing laughter, reverberating through the mountain gorges. But soon everything changes. On the third night, they reach the top, where they are supposed to set up camp. This place is rarely visited. Neither guides nor other tourists leave traces here. They set up a tent, build a campfire, and start cooking dinner. Igor, an avid photographer, is trying to take a couple of pictures against the backdrop of majestic mountain peaks. But something makes him stop. Somewhere in the distance, on one of the rocky ledges, he notices a strange figure. The figure stands motionless, its silhouette clearly outlined against the background of the setting sun. He takes a few pictures, hoping it's just a shadow or a trick of the light. But the figure does not disappear. Maybe someone else is in the mountains? Anna asks, but there's uncertainty in her voice. Vlad turns around but sees nothing unusual. Theoretically, it could have been another tourist. But Igor feels strangely uneasy. He decides to go check it out, despite the fact that his friends try to stop him. "Wait, you'd better not," Anna says, but Igor doesn't listen to her. He picks up his camera and heads for the cliff. The cliff seems to be insurmountably high, and the higher he rises, the darker it gets around. The stone steps are getting more slippery, and the air is getting thinner. At some point, he loses sight of the camp and looks around. It seems that someone is watching him. A strange shadow that used to be just a figure is now starting to move. Igor slows down his pace, almost freezing with fear. After a few minutes, he finds himself on the very edge of the cliff, but the figure is no longer there. Just a shadow. But now she doesn't just stand there. She seems to absorb the light. Igor feels growing anxiety. His heart is racing. He tries to get back, but his legs won't obey him. He looks at the camera and suddenly realizes that he took a picture of that figure. The shadow on the camera screen, which has no clear contours, gradually blurs, as if it is part of the air itself. Frantically trying to make out the image, Igor hears a strange noise. It's like footsteps in the dark, but every time he turns around, there's no one there. Igor starts to descend, but suddenly his vision blurs. He loses his bearings and stops again. When he finally returns to the camp, his friends greet him with horror. Vlad and Anna say that his face is completely white, and his eyes are wide with horror. Igor, without saying a word, shows them the picture he took on the cliff. Anna, looking at the screen, whispers softly, "This, not a human being. It's something else." The shadow in the photo continued to move, and her eyes turned red. 3 weeks later, traces of the group were found on the very edge of the cliff, but the tourists themselves were missing. Those who climbed to the top later told of strange shadows flickering at night and of the unusual feeling that someone or something was watching them from the very tops of the mountains. While the mountains are silent, their story does not end. The shadows continue to roam.